Wallace breaks down on late night livestream, admits illnesses, and plans to get laid as much as possible before being jailed in Oklahoma. DeCastro asks his fans to brigade YouTube and Twitter, and a sitting judge in Arizona in two different rants. Plus, an extended look at Christopher Denver Metro Audit's Cordova. Should you be throwing your GoFundMe money at him? All this and more on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast brought to you by ReallyCoolNews. We've got a long one today with two news stories on Delete Law's Jose Chile DeCastro, Floyd Wallace, and a new background video on Denver Metro Audits. DMA's videos and news series on the GoFundMe market with background histories to various members of the community behind the campaigns. If the reaction to the story goes well, we'll be adding the series to our ongoing calendar of features in the newspaper this week. With that, we ask you to focus on GoFundMe Spotlight, Denver Metro Audits. Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova started his GoFundMe campaign around 6 months ago to raise $20,000 to fight charges of obstruction out of Sheridan, Colorado, which he claims he was innocent of. He had a long history in Sheridan, along with ex-girlfriend Teresa Sweet Tea Neal and current auditing partner Regan Benson. The group used to target the Sheridan City Council meeting with negative coverage over recording in the building. His problems culminated in a mass gathering of auditors in the building last year, which resulted in over 10 arrests. He and Sweet Tea were later arrested again last year in the same building after being banned from the building and having outstanding warrants. Cordova and his band of auditors split last year when he started to demand to be the leader of the group. He alone went to trial on the Sheridan charges, with the others taking plea deals from the mass gathering, and he publicly denounced the group for their decisions. The YouTuber is most famous for an incident at a mass gathering of auditors at a Social Security Administration building in Colorado in 2022. Delete Law's Jose Chile DeCastro was in attendance at the meeting, and Cordova would attack DeCastro verbally behind his back in support of Josh Accountability for All Abrams anytime DeCastro was out of earshot. DeCastro ultimately had the last laugh as he inadvertently tricked Cordova into getting arrested by breaching a secure area after several warnings by police that no filming was allowed inside that area. DeCastro had tentatively agreed to breach the building with Cordova, but Cordova went alone and was arrested as DeCastro promised to fundraise for his release. Cordova was found guilty of the crimes in 2023 and sentenced to 15 days in federal prison, but the case has been held up in an appeal for most of 2024. The last hearing was in June, with no decision made as of press time. More recently, Cordova was tricked by Christopher Direct D. Ruff into taking charges of flashing a high-powered flashlight at a Sheridan, Colorado police vehicle on the highway when, in fact, Ruff committed the crime. Those charges were later dropped. Cordova's made $730 out of his $20,000 goal for his GoFundMe campaign, and it isn't clear what he currently needs the money for, as most of his charges have either been dropped or are lingering. The YouTuber, since dumping Sweet Tea, has embarked on a transformation of sorts, wearing braces to correct his crooked teeth, upgrading his wardrobe, fixing his haircut, and other appearance changes to make himself more attractive to the opposite sex. He has transformed himself into a love guru and now makes appearances on dating-related podcasts and YouTube panels where he expounds on his alleged extensive knowledge of women. Cordova also speaks out regularly at the Inglewood City Council meeting on his belief that pornography should be available to be publicly displayed within the confines of the library. He claims any limit on the display of pornography would be a violation of the First Amendment, and he will openly fight against any rules prohibiting its display. The last donation to Cordova's fund came 27 days ago, and Cordova posted an update on September 14, 2024, indicating that he was down to 3 cases with his Social Security Administration case, the Sheridan mass arrest appeal, and a trespassing charge still in front of him. We will continue to monitor his GoFundMe and continued auditing and dating-related activities as news breaks. We still need your help. Despite the GoFundMe market being dead, this publication is funded by your donations, along with what little we make from our YouTube channel per month. While we did achieve full monetization on YouTube, we still need help to get through monthly expenses and keeping the lights on to bring you the paper and the newscast each day. If you can afford it, please consider donating to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All proceeds literally go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the ads on our video, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in. Delete Laws wants you to brigade YouTube. An outraged Delete Laws Jose Chile de Castro held a nearly 4-hour live stream on YouTube Saturday night, calling on all of his fans to brigade YouTube's Twitter accounts, as he claimed commenting on his YouTube shorts was not working for all of his followers, despite the counts on the comments increasing on his shorts every time he highlighted them. De Castro's paranoia about commenting was highlighted in a short video he played on his live stream that apparently showed someone having difficulty leaving a comment on his shorts. He told his fans that they needed to immediately brigade YouTube creators and Team YouTube on Twitter to demand that they fix the problem. The YouTuber was obsessed with his perceived problem throughout the stream, getting more and more agitated after YouTube's accounts on Twitter failed to adequately help him resolve the issue. He was also upset that his fans didn't embark on his demand of brigading all the accounts, as only his report and direct interaction with YouTube's representatives could work to his benefit. As a fan reminded us, this is a particularly bad time of year for De Castro, as it's the 1-year anniversary of his firing of former partner Colin Campbell, who he ultimately let go after a blow-up after another misunderstanding on De Castro's part. It was a year ago that the Welsh News Network account randomly received a gifted membership on De Castro's main Delete Laws channel. De Castro, not understanding the random nature of gifted memberships, accused Campbell of working in collusion with his most hated critics and directly giving the account a membership to his channel, widening the ongoing explosion between the two former friends and business partners. Also of note is the fact that Campbell's Project Constitution account on Twitter has recently quintupled the numbers of Twitter followers when compared to De Castro's main Twitter account. Campbell currently has 10,800 followers to De Castro's 2,103 Twitter followers on his main Delete Laws account. The problems continued to pile up for De Castro as he again made a direct promise on Saturday's live stream that his new Team DLZ website would be up by the end of the day, with the site remaining unlaunched on Saturday by noon Eastern Time. De Castro's live stream was otherwise uneventful, with De Castro demanding his followers to take time to petition Arizona Judge Nick Saccone, with De Castro naming him Dickbag for some reason. The judge recently found probable cause for officers to arrest a deaf man whose arrest was the subject of a recent viral video after he was tased repeatedly by police. The YouTuber also demanded that his followers find him complete police body cam videos on YouTube that he can take to repurpose on videos for both his YouTube channel and to be featured unredacted on his Twitter and Patreon accounts. He made it clear to target smaller creators who would not be prone to copyright strike him for using their material. Copyright and fair use also seemed to be on DeCastro's mind throughout the video, as he stopped during featured videos during the live stream to announce that he was providing reactions to the videos he was viewing. DeCastro apparently recently received a copyright strike on his channel, resulting in his perceived need to announce that he was using all new videos under fair use guidelines. DeCastro made $145 in Super Chat revenue during his nearly 4-hour stream and is already scheduled to live stream again this afternoon. Wallace breaks down, talks about illness. Floyd Wallace briefly broke down as he was confronted with his own words by Snow Travels, a YouTube user who paid to be on Wallace's panel Saturday night, in a strange moment for the YouTuber who normally denies that anything is wrong with his world or his actions. Wallace allowed Snow Travels up on his panel for a $20 donation that would be applied to his fees for a Texas conviction that Wallace says is preventing him from leaving the country. Snow Travels is a notorious critic of Wallace, who spends most of Wallace's live streams badgering and reminding Wallace of his faults. His inclusion on the panel was either a brilliant move by Wallace, who raised $60 towards paying off his Texas fine during the nearly 4-hour-long live stream, and another $30 in super chats, or a terrible mistake on Wallace's part, as Snow Travels came prepared with sound bites of Wallace's previous comments to use against him. Upon arrival on the panel, Snow Travels asked Wallace why he was pretending to love Colombia so much, as he had previously commented on over a half a dozen live streams that he hated the country. Wallace broke down and said that absence may have made him grow fond of the country, but later admitted that Colombia was the easiest place where he could get laid before going to jail. Unlike his earlier live stream, where he stated that he was doing everything in his power to avoid jail time, this time he seemed resolved to the perceived fact that he would be receiving 2 months in jail for interfering with an officer in an Oklahoma arrest in 2023. Wallace is currently scheduled to receive sentencing on a blind plea by an Oklahoma judge next month. The YouTuber admitted that the only real reason why he was trying to delay the trial was to have as much sex as possible with women in Colombia before going to jail, as his attempts to find sex in the United States had failed. He revealed that a recent attempt at pay-for-play with an acquaintance failed, as he apparently paid the woman and she had not shown up to follow through with the sexual contact. As Wallace filled his panel with more paying members of his community, Snow Travels posed to Wallace a question as to why he always forced his Passport Bro fans to pay for fines from actions committed when he was acting as a First Amendment auditor. Wallace candidly stated that both of his First Amendment auditing channels were followed by white people who hated him and would never pitch in. He went on to say that while his Passport Bros hated him too, they always came through when he needed them to pay for all of his expenses. Opening up further, Wallace revealed that he was suffering from arthritis, ADHD, and schizophrenia, which gave him uncontrollable bouts of anger. While he wouldn't confirm a medical diagnosis, he did say that his conditions played a part in his arrests, as his anger was a contributing factor in his problems. Ending his candidness with his current plans, he said he still planned to fire his lawyer to cause a delay in his upcoming court action in Oklahoma. He would then go to Colombia for as long as he could afford to, delaying the trip to November if needed, then come back to the United States in order to go to jail for up to 2 or 3 months. During his time in jail, he would have all his videos prepared to be released on all of his channels using YouTube scheduling. He would then get a job working construction for 2 to 3 months before leaving the States for an extended sex tour of Brazil. He did not report on what he'd do about his warrant in New Mexico, but did not seem concerned about it as the conversation drifted away from serious topics. Wallace still has $71 to go to his Texas fines with the supposed Tuesday deadline. He had claimed he would put $60 of his own money towards the fine if Chet came through with the other half of the money. It is unclear where that promise stands as of press time. And we're back. We've got a big week ahead of us with the Lexington takeover already starting for tomorrow, and Chile de Castro already doing his latest live stream in the middle of Football Sunday. With that, we're hitting the road for another night. We're working on some art for the site that you'll soon be seeing on our newscasts, let alone we're working on a new opening sequence for our newly renamed live show that happens every Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon at 2 p.m., right here on our YouTube channel. Be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for our first rendition of the official Best Worst Choices Theater. Then stay tuned for our big announcement about our panel shows. A new grift is coming, as Parsons would say. Stay tuned and have a great evening.